Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and happy holidays from Hulbert Arena in Terre Haute, Indiana, for today's 2023 Midwest Challenge broadcast here on RHIT.TV. I'm Galen Clavio, along with Mike Petrie. We're excited to be joining you today as we've got two basketball games coming up for you. The Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers taking on the Illinois Wesleyan Titans, and the DePauw Tigers taking on the Washington University Bears. All of that coming up in a minute, but first, we'd like to thank our game day sponsors. Morales Group Staffing, building better futures, one story at a time. Aspen Creek Grill, why go anywhere else for delicious food? Burtner Electric, providing quality electrical services in central Indiana. Boilermaker 374, we're second to none in quality and performance. Clean Slate, inspired innovation that moves businesses forward. Piper Logistics, from warehousing to transportation and everything in between. Well, Mike, as we get started for this first game, we got about 7.5 minutes on the clock before things tip off. The Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers and the Illinois Wesleyan Titans battling here in an early season challenge. They've played in this before. Both of these teams were here, of course, last year. Rose-Hulman hosts this pretty much every season, and it's really a tale of two programs right now. Illinois Wesleyan won this challenge last year, and they come back in looking to repeat that. They face a Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers team that is in rebuild mode. They had some unfortunate circumstances last season, but they're back, a fully stocked roster. They've already picked up their first win of the season, and they're looking to try to pick up a couple more here today.
Yeah, the two teams just different places in their program. Illinois Wesleyan, the most established team. They've got 5 seniors on their roster that all can play a role in their attack. They are the best shooting team, and they have the lowest turnover rate, which lets you know offensively they can fill it up. The other 3 teams in this tournament have all played sporadically bits of very good basketball. They can all defend pretty well, and I think that that's the one saving grace. Rose-Hulman gets their first win last week because of their defense. It's their defense that really propels everything for them. Offensively, they're still trying to figure out exactly who's going to lead the attack. But they've got some young players, among them Grace Rowland, a big part of this attack. The freshman averaging 13 points, 10 rebounds on the season.
Yeah, we mentioned that Rose-Hulman with their first win, that coming about 5 days ago. They took a West Coast trip. They lose a close one, or at least close early on, to Laverne, and then they beat Caltech. And that was a big win for this team, trying to get some momentum under their first-year head coach, Deverin Paul. Ashley Black with the big game in that one, 22 points in that contest. Grace Rowland, as you mentioned, 16 points, 11 rebounds. Jamie Baum with 15 points. And Jamie Baum has really been a key player for this team over the course of the last few seasons. The only player for Rose-Hulman so far this season who's been in double figures each of the first 3 games.
Yeah, and that's what they need. They just need some consistency. Other players are going to have hot streaks and going to fill it up at different times, but you just need some consistency, especially from your upperclassmen. It's not a lot of upperclassmen on this team, so that's what you're looking for. The other thing with Rose-Hulman, they're going to have to find somebody who can hit some outside shots. 11 of 41 on the season so far. They just need some additional three-point shooting.
Illinois Wesleyan coming in at 3-2 on the campaign. They won their first 3 and then have dropped a couple of heartbreakers to ranked teams, including last week against Wisconsin Whitewater. They had a lead going into the fourth quarter. Wisconsin Whitewater, who's 9th in the country, goes on a 16-2 run to close that one out. But this is a dangerous Illinois Wesleyan team. They shot incredibly well in that game, and they have throughout the course of the season.
Absolutely. Lauren Huber was named to the D3 Hoops Team of the Week last week, and you can see why. She can do a little bit of everything for this team. Averaging 20.5 points per game, 12 rebounds. Is not a great shooter from the outside, not prolific at least, 3 of 5 so far on the season, but 21 offensive rebounds, and she can get a lot of points, a lot of the dirty work as well in terms of creating for herself.
It should be a fun day of basketball. We're going to go ahead and take a break, and we'll come back with the starting tip of this contest. For Mike Petrie, I'm Galen Clavio. This is Rose-Hulman basketball at the Midwest Challenge on RHIT.TV.
Every person has a story waiting to be told. Mr. Jack comes in every Monday.
Yeah, that's right.
One day I noticed his hat said he was a Korean War veteran. I asked him if he'd ever been to the Korean War Memorial.
No, I never had a chance to go.
That was the day I knew we had to do whatever it took to get him there.
Manny made it happen. I got to go to Washington, D.C. to all the memorials. The World War II Memorial, Naval Memorial, Korean War Memorial. Took all kind of pictures and everything, and it was a good trip, too.
I'm glad that I could be a part of Mr. Jack's story.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN. We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Welcome back to Holbert Arena. Galen Clavio and Mike Petrie joining you here on RHIT.TV, the home of Fightin' Engineers Athletics, as both teams finishing their shoot-arounds and getting ready for the starting lineups and the start of this contest. Really not just a tale of where two different programs are at right now, but two different coaches as well. Of course, we mentioned earlier that Rose-Hulman, under new leadership, Devrin Paul, the first-year head coach, his first time as a head coach, he joins from the University of Cincinnati, and he's 1-2 on his career, as he's 1-2 on the season. He faces off against Mia Smith, who's in her 26th season at Illinois Wesleyan, led this Illinois Wesleyan team to a Division III championship back in the 2012 season, was the National Coach of the Year that year, a 70% overall winning percentage in her career, 474 and 201, 9 conference titles, 12 tournament appearances, an additional Final Four. One of the more storied coaching careers of this generation in D3 athletics.
Yeah, but besides that, what's she accomplished, really? No, just a fantastic early matchup. And I'm sure that Coach Paul appreciates the ability to measure himself against a great coach early on in his career. And obviously, there's going to be a lot of learning experiences for this Rose-Hulman team. This is going to be one of them, and I'll be interested to see how they can compete.
Clock winding down here as we get set for the start of the contest. We'll, of course, have the national anthem here in just a minute, and then we'll proceed with the first of the two games on the day. Of course, these two going to lead into tomorrow's contests. The winners of the two games will play for the championship. That'll be our second game tomorrow, and the losers will play in the consolation round. That'll take place at 2 o'clock, our first game for tomorrow. We will have a second game this afternoon. As we mentioned earlier, Washington University of St. Louis going to be taking on the DePaul Tigers. And now we'll go ahead and join for the national anthem.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
A good engineer, a good mathematician, a good scientist can identify problems.
But in order to be a great scientist or engineer, you've got to have curiosity and you've got to have creativity, and that's what's going to set you apart.
You can't teach curiosity. You just need to encourage your student to be curious. Curious in anything that they do. Curious so that it brings out the innovations, the new ideas.
Since we're doing things so quickly, a lot of times we know that we need help. So our professors all know us by name.
Basically, everybody knows everybody here.
That one-on-one personal connection you're getting with the faculty, you don't get that a lot of places.
We're not just saying, here, go do this hard project. We are right there with them. We work with them.
The faculty are there for you. Anxious over algebra? Call Ask Rose, the free science and math homework helpline. It's free world-class tutoring. Just call, chat, email, or screen share. Learn more at AskRose.org. Confused by chemistry? Call Ask Rose, the free science and math homework helpline. It's free world-class tutoring. Just call, chat, email, or screen share. Learn more at AskRose.org.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Welcome back to Holbert Arena as we are currently watching the starting lineups taking place. Illinois Wesleyan as the visitors in this one getting introduced first. And starting for this squad at the guard positions, number 5, Lauren Huber. Number 22, Ava Bardick. Number 23, Mallory Powers. Number 24, Kate Palmer at one of the forward positions. And then number 20, Katie Knutson, going to be starting at that other spot. And Mike, as we talked about, this is an incredibly well-shooting team, or good shooting team, and we've seen them kind of sharing the scoring burden to some degree. Ava Bardick has been the most consistent performer thus far.
Yeah, you've got three players in double figures. Ava Bardick, Lauren Huber, and Mallory Powers, all averaging at least 13 points per game. It tells me a couple of things. One, it is a very much guard-powered lineup. You're going to have to defend the three-point line if you are Rose-Hulman. But also, they get the guards do a good job of rebounding on this team, and they get a lot of extra opportunities for themselves and for others.
Starting for Rose-Hulman, you can see them being introduced right now at, again, kind of a guard-heavy lineup, but at the guards, number 1, Ashley Black from Westfield, Indiana. Number 3, Sophia Reese from Jeffersonville, Indiana. Number 5, Jamie Baum, Jr., out of Ashburn, Virginia, one of a couple of upperclassmen in this starting lineup. At one of the forward spots, number 12, C.K. Gallegos Rodriguez, out of El Paso, Texas. And number 14, Grace Rowland, 6'2", out of Westmont, Illinois. The team's now lined up and ready for the opening tip here in the first quarter as we get this classic underway, and Rose-Hulman controls the tip. Fighting Engineers going to be deliberate here to start with as they look for some opportunities. Drive, and nicely defended there by Wesleyan, and that going to be knocked not quite out of bounds, though they are going to say that Black stepped on the end line, and so that missed shot rebound goes the way of Illinois Wesleyan.
Not sure I agree with the official there. I thought Black had jumped in from inbounds, but a good aggressive approach there.
Knutson hits the bottom of the backboard. Missed shot there to start with, and here comes Rose-Hulman.
Great job by Grace Rowland on defense. She gets beat, but then stays with the play.
All the way down the other end, here's Huber taking it coast to coast. She'll miss the layup. Some sloppy play from both teams here very early on. Lobbed down, fake shot, and up with the left hand, no good. Outlet, passed across, and the layup, no good. Frenetic, but no points on the board yet for either of these teams.
Yeah, both teams like to play a lot of possessions up in the 70s, so not particularly a surprise here, but have to sharpen up a little.
Air ball there by Baum, and that'll go out of bounds. Both these teams looking for their first points. Both teams have missed 3 shots thus far on the contest. 4 rebounds for Rose-Hulman early on.
Been impressed with their defense, and that's going to have to be what keeps them in games.
Shot taken, no good. That one from 3, rebounded by Illinois Wesleyan, and now a whistle. Not sure what the stoppage of play was there.
I think they didn't reset the shot clock.
So they will set it now to 15 seconds. And it'll be Powers triggering the inbound here. Bardick, the floor general for the Titans. Aggressive Rose-Hulman defense so far has done a good job of keeping Illinois Wesleyan out of the paint in this half-court set. Shot from distance, no good, but a rebound. And now here's a layup, no good. Underneath the basket, and another problem with the clock, I think.
Yeah, they heard the horn, but that's going to happen. It happened after the shot. It looked like it still reset, but.
Yeah, shot clock did reset properly. 14 seconds on the shot clock at this point, and it'll be an inbounds coming from Mallory Powers on a baseline out-of-bounds play.
Rose-Hulman's done a really good job defensively, though, coming out, meeting shooters. They have not given up a lot of clean looks, and I think even on that one clean look that Katie Palmer had, that's a choice by the Fighting Engineers defense. They're going to allow some people to get the better looks. That's who they want to be shooting.
Little discussion at the scorer's table right now is I think one of the officials asking for a correction on the clock. Conversation going on now between the official scorer and one of the officials. Both teams, as you can see on your screen, very much ready for play to resume, but they want to make sure they get this taken care of. Now they're going to zero the clock out and I think do a complete reset. 7:53 goes back on, and now they're going to send both teams to the benches, and we'll go ahead and keep this here. Just a reminder, folks, that if you're looking for great food for breakfast or lunch, check out Tam's Sweet and Savory Cafe. They also specialize in baked goods. They have daily specials and are open Wednesday through Sunday from 8 to 2. That's Tam's Sweet and Savory Cafe, located at 6427 Oak Landon Road in Indianapolis. Also, thanks to today's officials for their dedication and hard work. Without them, we don't play. If you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all. I'm talking to you, Mike. Sportsmanship is everyone's job. Shot clock back up to 20 and now back down again. They continue to have some discussions here. Both teams have huddled up. You can see off the bat here, now that the officials are going to send the players back because it looked like they were ready to come out. Some good aggressive defense from Rose-Hulman early on, and for an Illinois Wesleyan team that shoots the ball as well as they do, that's what you're going to have to do if you're Rose-Hulman.
Absolutely, and the one thing they've got to do a little better job of, that they're going to want to make sure they're finishing off possessions. They're doing a good job initially on the first shot. Illinois Wesleyan very active on the offensive glass. You've got to make sure that you're keeping them off the offensive glass and finish out possessions, one shot and done. But
officials discussing some things now underneath the basket, as whatever problem there seems to be with the clock has not been completely resolved. Several people down there at the scorer's bench just kind of trying to work through things and figure out what to do. They may have to keep the time on the floor, which would not be ideal for us as broadcasters, Mike, as that's a little bit difficult for us to keep track of, but we'll see what happens, and we'll do our best as we can. We're live here on RHIT.TV, your home for Fighting Engineers Athletics. We'll have full coverage of this entire classic throughout the course of the weekend. 2 games today and 2 games tomorrow. Illinois Wesleyan, the winners of the classic last year, and they'll look to repeat this time around. Should be an interesting trek for them through this tournament, as well as they did in the tournament last year. They had a less than overwhelming year overall, 16-11 on the season last year, only 10-6 in conference play. But this team, certainly with the experience that you talked about, feels like they're on track for a better season than what they saw last season.
Yeah, and I think when you've got the experience and you've got experienced guards in the college game at any level, you feel like you've got a chance to win. I think that in particular, being able to do that, it's going to come down to the defensive side, I think, for Illinois Wesleyan. They can shoot. They can handle the ball. You're not going to see them unnecessarily sloppy. You're not going to see bad turnovers that leave the coach shaking their head. But on the flip side, you've just got to be able to defend enough for those shooters to get hot.
Now, in addition to the officials at the scorer's table, or one of the officials, you've got the entire Rose-Hulman coaching staff over there trying to discuss what's going on. And now the scoreboard on one side is off entirely. Now one of the other officials is going to go over and discuss this with Mia Smith. We'll take a break as they sort this out and come right back.
Active athlete looking for enhanced performance, comfort, and recovery? Then Skins is the perfect choice for you. Our revolutionary sports compression product provides better oxygen flow in your muscles, helps reduce fatigue and pain from intense physical activity, allowing athletes to push their boundaries and perform better.
Skins helps keep everything, including you, on track.
So don't wait any longer. Get your Skins now and experience unbeatable performance.
Take your game to the next level with Skins.
Welcome back to Terre Haute, Indiana. Rose-Hulman and Illinois Wesleyan facing off here in the first game of the Midwest Classic for the 2023-24 season. As we mentioned earlier on, Illinois Wesleyan coming into this contest with a record of 3-2 overall, and Rose-Hulman coming into this contest with a record of 1-2. Rose-Hulman in their first game this season losing in the Crosstown Classic against St. Mary of the Woods, 68-56. The final score in that one. They then go on the West Coast swing. They lose 64-61 at Laverne, but they follow that up a couple of days later with a win at Caltech, 65-54. For this Illinois Wesleyan team, it's been an interesting set of games to start the season. In the Cornell Classic, they knock off Cornell 68-52, and then they end up winning that Classic with a victory over Luther, 87-79, and in that game they were down 29-19 at the end of the first quarter and came back and won pretty comfortably. They then headed out to the Hope Tip-Off Tournament. They beat Puget Sound 78-77 before losing to Hope, the host team and a ranked team at the time, number 21 in the country, 80-73. And then, of course, as we mentioned earlier, just a few days ago, they lose versus Wisconsin Whitewater 82-80. Wisconsin Whitewater, 9th in the country. So both of these teams with a little bit of experience under their belt, and they've all kind of started to settle in to the patterns that you would expect throughout the course of the rest of the season as the players start to find their roles and figure out what they're supposed to be doing and how they can best play with each other.
Yeah, I think what's interesting to me especially is you can tell the experience that Illinois Wesleyan has in the fact and how packed their early season schedule is. They will, at the end of this weekend, have played 7 games, 3 weekends in, and they are ready to go now.
And it looks like we are ready to resume. They got, hopefully, whatever problem was existing with the scorer's table fixed. Shot clock has 18 seconds left on it. We are 7 minutes and 53 seconds remaining here in this first quarter. Inbound pass, and the first points go up on the board, courtesy of Lauren Huber, the 5'8 junior guard, and it's 2-0 Titans.
Well, they figured out what it was. They had to take the lids off the basket.
Foul going to be whistled there. They're going to nail Katie Knutson on that, and a nice job of a decisive drive there by the senior Ashley Black, and she'll go to the free throw line for 2.
This is one thing that Rose-Hulman does an exceptional job of. They are great at getting to the free throw line. 38% free throw rate on the season. If they can keep that up, that's going to open things up for them, become more of a drive and kick team as opposed to driving at the basket and kind of having to get fouled.
I like you using advanced stats on the broadcast. That's there, right. Mike. Free throw rate, always a good one. Ball goes out of bounds, and some disagreement among the officials there as far as who that was off of, as Black missed both of those free throws, but they ultimately decide that it's Illinois Wesleyan basketball. Bardick going to bring this one up on her own. Bardick drives, passes cross court, fake, turnaround shot in the lane, no, and it'll be a Rose-Hulman rebound.
Good job by Rose-Hulman. 3 white jerseys surrounded the basket there after the shot went up. No chance at an offensive rebound.
Here's a drive by Black, pull up, a little too strong, and Titans coming down the floor the other direction.
That was a good job defensively by Huber. She just stood her ground.
3-pointer no good, rebound, dribble, lost, and now picked up again, and that shot up and good by Lauren Huber. Picks up her 4th point, and it's 4-0 Titans.
And looked like Gallegos Rodriguez took a shot to the stomach. She was holding her stomach there, and
foul going to be whistled,
but did not get a call and is staying in the game. She's still holding her side.
Huber, so far hogging all the statistics, has all the points and almost all the fouls for both teams. Fighting Engineers looking to get into their set. Nice lob pass in, up and good. First points for Rose-Hulman, and that comes courtesy of Grace Rowland, the freshman.
And she did a great job setting a high target, was able to get up above everybody, and then doesn't bring the ball down where it can get slapped out.
Shot a bit high there and going to be kicked back out, as so far Illinois Wesleyan really living on the offensive glass. Bardick goes past baseline, reverse no good there by Knutson.
Great defense by Rowland. Forced her under the basket, bothered the shot, and then stayed with it so she couldn't get the rebound.
Turnover by Reese. Bardick switches hands. Nice feed, and that goes off of the foot of Lauren Huber, and it'll be Rose-Hulman basketball. First substitutions coming in here. Sawyer White coming in for the Titans, and Amelia Diaz joins the game for Rose-Hulman.
Interesting, Diaz being the first player off the bench. That's, I think, mostly just because Gallegos Rodriguez had to go out. Not so much of a rotational.
Nice drive and shot there by Sophia Reese, and we're tied up at 4 apiece.
Another freshman contributing for this Rose-Hulman team.
3-pointer the other way, no good, and fight for the rebound, knocked out of bounds. Rose-Hulman basketball.
Excellent job. Diaz caused that. It's not really an official turnover there, but it was her fighting for that rebound. It forces the ball to go out of bounds off of Illinois Wesleyan. The Wesleyan player, the Titan player, just not able to get a clean grab on it.
Manuela Shamba into the game, and now the ball lost out of bounds there as Jamie Baum looked like she lost her footing, and a timeout going to be called here. We'll take a break and come back with more. It is 4-4 here, Rose-Hulman and Illinois Wesleyan.
Your hauling or moving project has arrived, and College Hunks Hauling, Junk, and Moving has you covered. Honest. Uniformed. Nice. Knowledgeable. Service. College Hunks Hauling, Junk, and Moving.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Welcome back to Terre Haute, Indiana on RHIT.TV, the Midwest Classic. Rose-Hulman and Illinois Wesleyan tied up at 4 apiece. Mike, we spent a bunch of time in the pregame talking about how good Illinois Wesleyan shooting is. So far, 2 for 13 from the field for 15%. The Petrie jinx is officially on now.
That is the case. And offensively, they have really struggled all around.
But a nice job defensively. Now a zone being thrown out there by Rose-Hulman. And why not? We've yet to see Illinois Wesleyan hit from deep. There's a drive and a travel going to be called. And again, that is some good defense by Rose-Hulman, as Sarah Bali, who came in on that last timeout, had to kind of unexpectedly stop her progression into the lane thanks to the defense of Manuela Shamba.
Shamba into the game, the one bench player that
coast to coast. Shamba unable to get the shot to fall, and she's going to pick up the foul. You hate to see those point-blank shots go wanting, as that one was right there. Could have given Rose-Hulman the first lead of the game for them.
Yeah, and a spot where she probably just a little excited coming off the bench. She had made a good defensive play and just overshot it a little bit.
Illinois Wesleyan trying to crack this Rose-Hulman defense and really struggling to get good shots in the interior. Now here's the long ranger air ball, and Shamba can't keep it from going out of bounds. So it'll be Illinois Wesleyan ball under their own basket.
Shamba needs to settle into it a little bit. I think she's making some errors of aggression, which you like to see. But
block shot. Turnaround shot up and good. Nice job there sticking with it by Mallory Powers. And it's 6-4 Titans. Baum gets it across, and a turnover there, bad pass. Here come the Titans, lobbed in. Powers has to kick that back out. And another travel. Both teams really struggling right now. That one was Sawyer White, the sophomore out of Downers Grove. 3:41 remaining in this first quarter of play. Both these teams cold from the field and struggling to keep possession of the basketball.
Yeah, and I think Rose-Hulman has surprised Illinois Wesleyan a little bit in terms of just not taking away that first opportunity for them.
Scramble there, but Rose-Hulman gets it. Here's Baum, dribbles in and can't get the layup to go, but will go to the free throw line.
And Baum, fortunate there, although I think she knew at all that time she was getting contact, that all she had to do was get a shot up into the air. She was going to draw a foul.
And you can see another aggressive play by Rose-Hulman, as they really seem to be focused on trying to get the ball into the paint, get shots close up, and generate free throw attempts. As you mentioned earlier on, Baum knocks both of them down, and substitution coming in here is Kate Palmer going to re-enter the game, replacing Bali.
And honestly, Rose-Hulman could have a much worse offensive game plan than get Jamie Baum the ball, let her go to the free throw line. She's now 21 of 23 on the year.
Rose-Hulman back to what looks like almost a matchup zone. That one rattles out, and nice rebound there by Gallegos Rodriguez. Rose-Hulman looking for their first lead of this contest. As we mentioned earlier, they've really struggled with turnovers this season, and they've certainly struggled with them a bit so far in this game. Three-pointer up and no good. Glanced off the front of the rim there from Reese.
That was on target, just a little short.
Bardick can't get that to go, and a rebound by the Engineers.
Yeah, you can see where the turnovers become such a problem, just making too many passes and probably a little too aggressive on them, as we see on that.
Yeah, tried to drop it in over the top, but Baum didn't quite get enough on that. Now, other direction, shot up and good by Sawyer White. That's the thing about turnovers against Illinois Wesleyan. They will eventually make you pay with their shooting.
Yeah, you've got to feel, honestly, as you haven't played great offensively in this first half, but you're still in the game because your defense is keeping you in it, but that dam's going to burst at some point.
Another turnover. White fakes, and a nice pass off to Lauren Huber, and a timeout going to be called here, a 30-second one. We'll keep it here as the Titans have their largest lead of the game at 10-6. Well, folks, Piper Logistics specializes in everything from warehousing to transportation and everything in between. 3 services, 1 solution. They do it all. For further information, give them a call at 317-396-1023. Mike, let's take a look at the statistics so far in this contest. It's chilly outside, it's colder in the gym in terms of the shooting. Illinois Wesleyan 5 for 20 from the field, only 25%. Rose-Hulman 2 for 9 on this game, 22%. And as you can see here, this was one of the shots that did go in, that one coming from Lauren Huber. But the story so far has been offensive rebounds, 7 offensive boards for the Titans in this game.
Yeah, they've been able to convert that into extra points and extra possessions, and that's the last step for this Rose-Hulman defense. I think overall they would take everything in this game so far, even being down 4. But
10-second call. Illinois Wesleyan smartly throwing a press out there as Rose-Hulman's really struggled with their passing and dribbling into trouble, and that was a good example of that right there.
Yeah, that was one. They've been making one too many passes early on. That was probably one too few, but because of that, that's their 3rd turnover in a row, I believe.
Probing attempts there by White, and now shot up in the paint. No good there from Laura Malum, who's come into the contest, and Rose-Hulman the chance to chip away at this lead a little bit. Handoff turned over at the top of the key. Another turnover for Rose-Hulman.
Another turnover, just basic plays up at the top of the key, just a dribble handoff.
And a turnover the other direction and immediately out of bounds. That one probably won't count as a turnover for Rose-Hulman, as she never really had possession. Amelia Diaz did a nice job of knocking that away, but couldn't get it under control.
Yeah, I've been impressed with Diaz's defensive prowess so far. She is sticking with her man, whether it's in man or in zone, and has been an absolute pest early on.
Knutson unable to drain that, but another offensive rebound and laid up and good. Nice job by Kate Palmer. And the junior scores once again. It's 12-6. Almost a turnover. And now it is a turnover as Shamba couldn't keep control of that on the layup attempt. Kick out. Bardick 3 off the mark again. Shamba, nice job, strong rebound there. And we'll probably see Rose-Hulman hold this for the last shot of the quarter.
And the best thing that Shamba did there, she stopped. She got the ball. She had been just going a little too fast, and we're going to get a whistle.
And
that'll be is that going to be a turnover away from the ball? Or?
Well, we got the officials caucusing here at about the 3-point line. There was a whistle down low. The official was watching some infighting going on there in the post, but I didn't see an initial call one way or the other. Official now heading over to the scorer's bench to talk about this. 12-6 the score here. We're live at Holbert Arena. First game of the Midwest Classic. First of 4 games. And now officials notifying both benches.
We're having to kind of guess at what is being called. The official moving towards the basket that Illinois Wesleyan is shooting at.
Well, Devon Paul.
It is going to be. Is that going to be a technical, or?
I think either a technical or a flagrant. Devon Paul, the head coach for Rose-Hulman, not pleased with what he heard from the officials there. And we didn't see anything on the replay. We were looking at that behind the scenes. There wasn't anything blatant or obvious. So I'm not sure where the genesis of that call was, but regardless, it looks like it's going to result in a couple of free throw attempts. Intentional foul was called against Grace Rowland.
That's a tough one. I'm guessing so that's a high elbow, essentially, as she was battling for position.
So Bardick misses the first free throw, and she has really struggled so far in this game everywhere from the field. Second one up, and it's good. So Ava Bardick will pick up her first points of the game, or first point of the game, and Illinois Wesleyan will have the inbounds here, and a substitution as Baum and Rowland will come off the floor.
They're showing that as one personal on Roland, one technical, but
another foul going to be whistled here as Ashley Black, looks like she bodied a little bit far away from the basket. That's just going to be an inbounds, though.
Yeah, they had a foul to give, so not a terrible foul there. Probably would not choose Ashley Black to take the foul, but.
Baseline out of bounds play, triggered. Knocked away. Nice job down the floor. Rose-Hulman trying to score before the quarter ends, and they can't. Rolls out. Sophia Reese couldn't convert the layup, so we head to the end of the first quarter. It's Illinois Wesleyan 13, Rose-Hulman 6. Back after this on RHIT.TV.
You're good at making big announcements. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN. We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Welcome back to Hulbert Arena. Galen Clavio and Mike Petrie here on RHIT.TV. Illinois Wesleyan 13 and Rose-Hulman 6. And from that first quarter of action, not a shooting performance for the ages for either squad. Illinois Wesleyan 25% from the field, including 0 for 7 from 3. Rose-Hulman 2 for 9, but the big numbers so far in this contest: 8 offensive rebounds for Illinois Wesleyan and 10 turnovers for Rose-Hulman so far on the contest. That is not what the Fighting Engineers were hoping to see as they came into this one. Lauren Huber leading all team players in scoring with 6 points, and nobody with more than 2 outside of that for either team.
Yeah, and what you've seen, 8 second chance points from those 8 offensive rebounds, 7 points off of the turnovers. So, you know, you got to stop shooting yourself in the foot if you're Rose-Hulman. You anything that ends, any possession that ends in a shot, that's great. On the flip side, defensively, you've just got to make sure you're locking things down after denying an initial basket.
Pass in and shot up and good there by Katie Knutson. Her first points of the ball game. Nice pass in here, and the layup up and good. Ashley Black gets 2 points in the ledger for Rose-Hulman.
I like the early transition, essentially, off of a made basket. Just Ashley Black hustling down the basket.
Nice post move there, but no dice, and here come the Fighting Engineers the other direction. A little more conservative here with the passing attempts already in this second quarter of play.
Yeah, Black ran to the basket and called for it, but
three-pointer off. Nice job there to close by Black. Now three-pointer on the way from Palmer, and she knocks it down. First three-pointer of the game for either team, and it's a 10-point lead all of a sudden for the Titans.
Well, Katie Palmer came into the game 3 of 14 from the three-point line, so that's probably who Rose-Hulman wants taking that shot, but she knocks the lid off the basket for this Illinois Wesleyan team.
Foul there, going to be whistled against Mallory Powers, who certainly took the worst of that. There's that three-pointer from Kate Palmer. But Mallory Powers able to get up and continue to play here, and it'll be Baum triggering it in. Another foul going to be called, though. A hold on that inbounds play. That one going to be whistled on Sawyer White.
Players are a little bit frustrated. I think they're trying to figure out exactly what's a foul because there's a lot they've been able to get away with.
There's a nice play there on that inbound, unable to hit the initial shot, but another foul going to be called here on the putback, and a good job by C.K. Gallegos Rodriguez, the native of El Paso. She'll go to the line for 2.
She's shown some good aggressiveness on the low block.
So Gallegos Rodriguez, arcing free throw there, up and good. Rose-Hulman trying to get into double figures here.
As a whole, this team not only gets to the free throw line an awful lot, but they are pretty effective when they get there. As a team, shooting almost 80%. 4 of 6 so far today.
Illinois Wesleyan has had to face a really stout Rose-Hulman defense. Rose-Hulman's done a good job on these initial shot attempts. They just haven't been able to get rebounds on missed shots. And there's another example. Is Bardick able to pick that one up from distance? Now dished off. Nice fake. Fake again. That looked like a travel, no call. And turnover. Bouncing free, and that'll be Rose-Hulman basketball.
That was one. That was the just call. It happened to roll out of bounds. I'm not sure how that looked like it hit two different Rose-Hulman players, but it is ruled their ball.
Gallegos Rodriguez almost threw that away. It's knocked out of bounds. It'll remain Rose-Hulman basketball.
Those long passes have just been very difficult to complete. They are telegraphing them to a certain extent, and then just low percentages.
Lobbed down. That one actually hit the rim, and Gallegos Rodriguez hit the deck. Goes off the foot of the Titan player, and then picked up by Baum.
Great job by Baum tracking back.
Now cross quarter here to Black. And a offensive foul going to be whistled here, and that one going to go on.
That's on Rowland, I believe.
Grace Rowland. That's 3 now on Grace Rowland. So that'll bring her off the floor, and Manuela Shamba, the senior who played quite a bit in that first quarter due to the foul trouble on Rowland, going to be back in the contest. Shot attempt here from long distance, way off the mark, and picked up by Rose-Hulman.
Better box outs from Rose-Hulman early on in this quarter.
Reese pounding the basketball there, and a foul going to be called on Bardick. Ava Bardick, as we mentioned, a big contributor so far this season for this Illinois Wesleyan squad. Had 15 and 6 in the first game of the season, had 19 points in the second game, has really been all over the map. And now here's a collision almost at the logo, and Baum a bit shaken up. Play continues, and another turnover there as Black couldn't hang on to it. Rapidly down the floor, and the layup up and rolls out. No, and that's going to be Illinois Wesleyan basketball.
Yeah, good job by Baum. Coming back, she was able to knock the ball away from a rebounder and prevented what probably would have been an easy putback.
Shot up off the inbound, no, and rebounded by Reese. Titans really pressuring Rose-Hulman every time they bring the ball up the floor. Reese tried the jump stop. It's knocked out of her hands by Bardick, and it'll remain Rose-Hulman basketball as Amelia Diaz comes back in the game, replacing Jamie Baum, who still looks a little shaken up from that collision that happened a couple of possessions ago.
Yeah, mentioned in the pregame that the short bench that Rose-Hulman has, it's getting tested early on with Rowland on the bench with some foul trouble, and then Baum getting knocked around here.
5-second call. That was pretty quick. Not totally sure about that, but Illinois Wesleyan will have the possession here on another turnover by Rose-Hulman. Bardick lays it off, and a turnover. This one picked up and all the way in here for the layup. That's up and good. That is Gallegos Rodriguez, and back to a 6-point margin.
I think the steal even surprised her. She brought it back into her body and was like, oh, what do I have?
Jump ball here. Possession going to go to Rose-Hulman. And what Rose-Hulman has lacked in ball control, they've more than made up for in terms of aggressiveness and tenacity on defense. You can see here that turnover as C.K. Gallegos-Rodriguez able to take it all the way down and lay it in. And a timeout going to be called here. This is a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here. Folks, just a reminder, Boilermaker Local 374 can offer you a career as an iron shipbuilder, blacksmith, or general helper. For more information, contact the International Brotherhood of Boilermakers at 219-845-1065. So these two teams, 6:19 remaining in this first half of play. It's certainly not been the prettiest game so far, as both teams have really struggled to get any kind of a rhythm going. Illinois Wesleyan still shooting about 26% from the field. They finally did hit a 3, but they're 1 for 9 from deep. For Rose-Hulman, they've started to chip away at the deficit in terms of rebounds. The turnovers continue to be an issue for this team. 13 turnovers so far in this game, and Mike, you just can't win a lot of games with that many turnovers. You're just giving the opposition so many extra possessions.
And honestly, if there's a cause that I see in it, and I think this is something that Coach will be able to get, I guess, tone down a certain degree, it's just a little over-aggressiveness, a little bit overly ambitious passing, trying to make a perfect pass, and it's leading to some of those turnovers where just a low percentage of those are going to be completed.
And one of the things to note is Illinois Wesleyan hasn't exactly been the most protective of the ball. They've got 7 turnovers themselves. They're going to press here and try to get another turnover out of Rose-Hulman. Rose-Hulman indeed turns it over. That was almost an over and back. And a layup up and good there by Sarah Bali. And just like that, back to an 8-point margin.
And this is what you're going to see. Against a team that has struggled this way. Thought there might have been a travel there.
Long shot there, no good by Ashley Black. And almost dribbled into a trap, but now Illinois Wesleyan with numbers. Shot up, no good. Cold shooting continues for the Titans. Gallegos-Rodriguez off to Black. Black probing here against Bardick. And now Gallegos-Rodriguez into the lane, can't get the shot to fall, and the rebound picked off there by Huber. All the way down, layup up and good by Katie Knutson.
And you're going to see that press until Rose-Hulman proves they can break it and they can score by breaking it. You're going to see them stay with it.
Pass across the lane there, and Gallegos-Rodriguez is fouled on the shot attempt. That foul going to be whistled on Lauren Huber, and 2 more free throws here for the Fighting Engineers. Substitution coming in. Replay here as we see Gallegos-Rodriguez looking for the contact, and if the shot had gone in, that would have been a nice bonus. She knocks down the first free throw.
Yeah, and she's doing a very good job of flashing to where she has to be on the floor. It's a matter of her teammates have to get her the ball in those spots, but she's done a good job of flashing, and she's done well from the free throw line. 4 free throws so far today.
Gallegos-Rodriguez will go ahead and sit down, replaced by Baum, who comes back in. But Gallegos-Rodriguez has been the leading scorer so far for Rose-Hulman in this contest. Back to a 2-3 zone now. Dangerous against a team that shoots as well from 3 overall like the Titans do, but they haven't shot very well today, so maybe a risk worth taking. And there's a turnover. Nicely done, knocked away there by Reese. Sophia Reese lobs it in, bounces off the head of Shamba, and here come the Titans. A turnover there is a travel committed by Sarah Bali, and both teams really struggling to maintain possession of the basketball.
And both teams struggling to convert in the open court. Transition has not been really the friend of either team. Not a lot of fast break points, and essentially once they've encountered any level of defense at that transition, you're seeing a lot of turnovers.
Baum. And that ball off the foot of Lauren Huber. They'll be out of bounds on the side here, and This will be triggered in by Sophia Reese.
And Ashley Black says to her fellow senior, yeah, that was on me. I was trying a little too hard on that pass.
Baum. Nice shot from about 19 right in the face of Kate Palmer, and it's 22-16, back to a 6-point deficit.
Fantastic arc on that. Used her height and just made it impossible to really be bothered by the shot.
Another steal, and Baum will slow this one down a little bit. 3:50 left in this first half. Into the corner. Nice spin move. Up, no good. The iron unkind. And another turnover. Sophia Reese.
I think one thing you're seeing with Rose-Hulman is the offensive difficulties are essentially compounding on each other, that they're forcing them to press a little bit.
Shamba drives, can't get that to go. Now here's a shot, no. Rebound attempt, batted around and picked up finally by the Titans, and they're going to call a foul there on Ashley Black. A couple of unlucky shot attempts there for Rose-Hulman, as they just haven't had a lot of luck right around the basket.
Yeah, and what you're seeing with it is we see on the replay, this is going to be a great...
This is that shot from Baum earlier on.
Yeah, and you just notice how easy that looked. There has been no easy other baskets for them. They are just trying too hard, honestly, in a lot of spots.
Kick out to Bardick for three, and can't get that to go. Rebound from Rose-Hulman. They have really cleaned up the offensive glass so far in this quarter.
Yeah, much better job boxing out, making sure that, and that can be difficult to do from that zone.
Black got the screen, went the other direction, and a blocking foul going to be whistled here. I think in past years that would have been a charge, but they've changed that rule at all levels of basketball. And, Mike, I think for the better. You have to be set before the offensive player takes off now.
Right, and that's
here's the replay on that.
Yeah, as it's just going to clear out more room for players to charge at the basket, which is essentially what you want. You want to reward good offensive play. Ashley Black not rewarding herself at the free throw line. She came in 3 of 6 on the season, 0 for 3 today.
Second free throw attempt is no good, rattles out. Missed opportunity there for Rose-Hulman. Cycled around the outside, Palmer. Now Bardick going to pull up inside the three-point line, missed. Nice rebound, and now going to be kicked back out once again. Here's the three, and that banks in. Sawyer-White with her first three of the game, and back to a 9-point margin.
Just like she planned it. Goes off the bank, whatever it takes to get that three-point line open.
Black, hands off to Baum, and a hand check going to be whistled here.
Or it'll be puts Rose-Hulman in the bonus, and I think that's going to be one thing that's going to be determinative of how well they play all season long, is how early in a quarter are they getting into a bonus. This one, they've got still 2 minutes left, plenty of time to take advantage.
Jamie Baum, her 5th point of the game and her 3rd point from the free throw line, has a chance to bring Rose-Hulman back to within 7 and knocks it down. Sawyer-White from Downers Grove, Illinois, went to Montini Catholic. And here's Bali up to Palmer. Tries to drop it in. And another jump ball. And this is going to stay with the Titans, but again, that pressure as Illinois Wesleyan's post players keep bringing the ball down. Katie Knudsen there kind of inviting the jump ball, and that's exactly what she gets.
Absolutely. It becomes half a turnover, even if you don't get the ball back. it means you get the ball coming out of the second half whistle.
Nice design play there to get Katie Palmer the open jumper, and she buries it 27-18. Transition, and here's Shamba underneath, able to knock that one down. 27-20. Pace has been pretty rapid in this contest. Both teams really liking to push the action. They just haven't hit a whole lot of shots. Palmer shakes free, and she'll knock the three down, and it feels like Illinois Wesleyan might be heating up a bit, back to a 10-point lead.
The problem there were two players that could have come off that screen, and just neither of them could decide who was coming off. Drive in, high shot off the glass, no. Rebound, no, but a foul going to be called. Nice job by Manuela Shamba to grab that rebound, and she'll go to the line. She's got 2 points so far on the day, looking to add to that total. Her activity has been noticeable. Even early on, she was actually probably a little overly anxious, but has done a much better job in the second quarter and is starting to get rewarded with some points.
4 rebounds so far on the day for Shamba. That was her first offensive board. Can't get that free throw to fall, however. You can see here that you didn't see the initial shot there, but that rebound, Shamba has been right around the basket for most of this first half. And that second free throw attempt is up and good. So 9-point lead here for the Titans. Palmer down to Knutson. Illinois Wesleyan being patient. Ball almost knocked away, almost a travel there. Now Palmer will lob it in, and that one is almost thrown away, but right there on the spot is Sawyer White, who's had quite a half so far.
Yeah, she's been in the right place, right time a couple of times.
Trap, and here's another turnover, and Palmer going to drive it all the way in. Oh, and she blows the layup, but picked up by Sawyer White, and another layup. 1 second left, and that will be the end of the first half of play. Well, Illinois Wesleyan with a flurry of action there at the tail end of that first half, and Rose-Hulman went from being down only 5 to now being down 13, and a lot of it really coming down again to just turnovers and not being able to hit shots.
And some of that is the inexperience, as we see the Amelia Diaz at the end getting a little bit of coaching. She a couple of times got to the half-court line. The trap was coming. You have to expect it, and she just panicked.
We're going to take a break. We'll come back with the statistics from the first half and the second half of play. For Mike Petrie, I'm Galen Clavio. It's 34-21. Illinois Wesleyan leads Rose-Hulman in the first game of the Midwest Classic here on RHIT.TV.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
A good engineer, a good mathematician, a good scientist can identify problems.
But in order to be a great scientist or engineer, you've got to have curiosity and you've got to have creativity, and that's what's going to set you apart.
You can't teach curiosity. You just need to encourage your student to be curious. Curious in anything that they do. Curious so that it brings out the innovations, the new ideas.
Since we're doing things so quickly, a lot of times we know that we need help. So our professors all know us by name.
Basically, everybody knows everybody here.
That one-on-one personal connection you're getting with the faculty, you don't get that a lot of places.
We're not just saying, here, go do this hard project. We are right there with them. We work with them.
The faculty are there for you.
Anxious over algebra? Call Ask Rose, the free science and math homework helpline. It's free world-class tutoring. Just call, chat, email, or screen share. Learn more at askrose.org. Confused by chemistry? Call Ask Rose, the free science and math homework helpline. It's free world-class tutoring. Just call, chat, email, or screen share. Learn more at askrose.org. Anxious over algebra? Call Ask Rose, the free science and math homework helpline. It's free world-class tutoring. Just call, chat, email, or screen share. Learn more at askrose.org. Confused by chemistry? Call Ask Rose, the free science and math homework helpline. It's free world-class tutoring. Just call, chat, email, or screen share. Learn more at askrose.org.
First and 10.
An active athlete looking for enhanced performance, comfort, and recovery? Then Skins is the perfect choice for you. Our revolutionary sports compression product provides better oxygen flow in your muscles, helps reduce fatigue and pain from intense physical activity, allowing athletes to push their boundaries and perform better.
Skins helps keep everything, including you, on track.
So don't wait any longer. Get your Skins now and experience unbeatable performance.
Take your game to the next level with Skins.
They say nice guys don't finish first. So maybe it's time to reconsider what it means to be first.
It's about being your best, but knowing you could be even better.
It's being present, but respectful of history.
You sure you want to make that move?
It's donating something more valuable than money.
It's believing in yourself and something bigger.
It's coming from different families, but treating each other like brothers.
It's not just being a man, it's being a Mason.
Since we're doing things so quickly, a lot of times we know that we need help. So our professors all know us by name.
Basically, everybody knows everybody here.
That one-on-one personal connection you're getting with the faculty, you don't get that a lot of places.
We're not just saying, here, go do this hard project. we are right there with them. We work with them.
The faculty are there for you.
A good engineer, a good mathematician, a good scientist can identify problems.
But in order to be a great scientist or engineer, you've got to have curiosity and you've got to have creativity, and that's what's going to set you apart.
You can't teach curiosity. You just need to encourage your student to be curious. Curious in anything that they do. Curious so that it brings out the innovations, the new ideas.
That was a technical, but yeah.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Calling officials cheaters or corrupt, it's not a game.
Insulting referees, it's not a game.
Threatening officials, it's not a game.
Berating young umpires, learning the ropes, it's not a game.
Violent language in the stands, it's not a game.
Verbal abuse from the sideline, it's not a game.
Screaming at a referee in the parking lot, it's not a game.
Welcome back to the Midwest Classic here in Terre Haute, Indiana. Galen Clavio and Mike Petrie joining you. Illinois Wesleyan leading this contest by the score of 34-21 at half. And Mike, this was a frenetic first half. It was a first half that saw both teams making a lot of mistakes. But Illinois Wesleyan, who couldn't shoot the ball very well at all in the early going, finally got some rhythm. And that really led them to that 13-point lead here at halftime.
I think that when the coaches and the team review the film on this game, they're going to see this was essentially a missed opportunity for Rose-Hulman because in that first quarter, a team that is built on their offense, both not turning the ball over and in making shots, really was struggling on both facets. And unfortunately for Rose-Hulman, they just were not able to capitalize because they also struggled shooting the ball, and they've struggled even more with their turnovers.
Only 6 made shots for Rose-Hulman in that first half, but the bigger story for them, 16 turnovers. Now, they did do slightly better in the second quarter. They were a little more under control, but still 16 turnovers in a game that hasn't had that many possessions, a real problem. On top of that, they surrendered so many offensive rebounds to Illinois Wesleyan, so they, even though they didn't shoot well, were able to capitalize. Leading scorers for both teams, Illinois Wesleyan, Kate Palmer, not surprising, 10 points so far on the game and 4 rebounds. A bit of a surprise, Sawyer White coming in off the bench, 9 points, 3 assists, 4 for 5 from the field, and she was right where she needed to be for most of that second quarter.
Yeah, opportunistic just in the fact she came in essentially for Lauren Huber, who went out with 2 fouls about midway through that second quarter, and with that, Sawyer White has been able to take advantage of her opportunities. But you mentioned that first period. What really jumps out at me is that, one, Illinois Wesleyan 6 of 24, but the 24 shots is a crazy amount of shots. That speaks to how well they were doing getting offensive rebounds. And again, they were not turning the ball over as much. I think as the game's gotten a little more ragged in the second quarter, again, Rose-Hulman had it down to a 5-point lead, but they were just not able to break through. Too many turnovers on that end.
For Rose-Hulman, it was C.K. Gallegos-Rodriguez leading the team, or co-leading the team in scoring 6 points, 6 rebounds in that first half of play. Jamie Baum, who was out a little bit injured, came back in, was also 6 points on the game. Both of those players did a lot of their damage at the free throw line. Manuela Shamba had to come in as Grace Rowland had some early foul trouble. She had 3 points and 4 rebounds. And we talked a little bit about Grace Rowland got that intentional foul earlier on in the game. There was some confusion about whether there was another foul on top of it. It turns out, according to the official scorers, there was not. So that means that Rowland only with 2 fouls as we head into the second half of play. Mike, quickly before we take a break, what are the keys to this second half for both of these teams?
Well, Illinois Wesleyan just has to start shooting the ball better than they had been. They started to heat up a little bit towards the end of that second period, but it's just a matter of they've got to get their offense back on track. Rose-Hulman, I think, likes the ugly game, so to speak, but they've got to be able to take advantage of it, turn turnovers into points, make their defense really pay off.
We'll take a quick break and come back with the start of the second half. 34-21, Illinois Wesleyan leads. Back after this on RHIT.TV.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Welcome back to Terre Haute, Indiana. Galen Clavio and Mike Petrie joining you once again here as it is time for the second half. The first game of the Midwest Classic between Illinois Wesleyan and Rose-Hulman. We'll have another game coming up after this as the DePaul Tigers take on the Washington University Bears. But we've got 20 minutes left in this one. Mike, Illinois Wesleyan coming back on the floor. They really adapted their defensive approach in this contest as the first half ran along, trying to put some pressure on Rose-Hulman, trying to get them to cough the ball up. They had some success with that. It'll be Rose-Hulman basketball to start this second half of play as Ashley Black going to trigger it in here, and we'll get underway with Sophia Reese.
One thing that will be interesting is how much they press coming off of baskets.
Reese with the pull-up, no, but a foul going to be whistled there on Kate Palmer, and another trip to the free throw line.
And that's what Rose-Hulman has to do as much as anything. They've just got to, they've got to get shots up. Any position that ends in a shot is good, but also they've just got to get to the free throw line as much as they can.
Reese has that one rattle out. If you're going to get to the free throw line, you have to hit them. And unfortunately for Rose-Hulman, only 64% so far from the stripe. And she'll miss the second one as well. And Titans come out of here trying to push the tempo. Kicked out to Palmer. Three-pointer off the front of the rim, but the rebound pulled down. And kicked back out again. Here's Bardick, and her first shot make of the game goes 37-21.
Yeah, after a very tough first half, good for Illinois Wesleyan to see that go down. When you've got a cold shooter, you need to see one go down.
Inside to Rowland. She'll lay that up and in. Titans settling into their offense. Almost a tie up there. Kick back out, Bardick again, and she'll drain it a second time. Well, you couldn't keep Ava Bardick down the whole game, and eventually she was going to get her shooting back under control. Nice layup there going the other direction by Ashley Black, and a flurry of scoring here early on in this second half of play.
For two teams that really struggled shooting the ball and getting any points up.
Turnover. Rose-Hulman fed, layup, oh, bounces up and in. Nice heads-up play by Ashley Black as she picks that one up, back to a 13-point deficit.
Well, I'm not sure I would have advised that pass, but it got through to Ashley Black, and she did a great job of staying with that.
Just some wild action here early on, and no foul called there. Maybe a little too far under the basket for the officials' liking.
Yeah, and I thought Grace did a good job. She kind of bodied with the lower body.
Reese able to go in and lays that one up and in.
But she kept her upper half vertical, and that was what led to no foul call.
So Rose-Hulman starting to heat up a little as well. Here's Bardick. That three is off, and rebound pulled down by Grace Rowland. Baum. I'll slow it down slightly here. Lobbed into Rowland, and she'll lay it up. Can't get it to go.
Good job of being a great target there, though.
Huber can't connect on that pass, and you could hear the floor burn from up here as Lauren Huber trying to save that one from going out. And you can see here, replay on the three-pointer, kick out here, and Ava Bardick, you give her that much time and space to tee it up, she's probably going to knock it home. Baum having to worry about the 10-second count, but she gets it across. No, they're going to say a 10-second violation. I don't know about that, as
officials will almost always give you the benefit of the doubt if you've released the pass.
Yeah, that was a very by-the-book call there. That nice layup by Ashley Black from earlier on. You saw that. So 40-29, Titans with still a double-digit lead, and not extended there as Rowland able to pull down that rebound, and here comes Baum. Into the lane. Cross courts it to Black for three. Can't get it to go.
Tough shooting day for Ashley Black.
Pull up by Huber, and she knocks it down and points to Palmer to say thank you for the assist. And a timeout going to be called here by Rose-Hulman. A 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here. Well, folks, just a reminder that IndianaSRN Sports Web TV is your gateway to Indiana sports excellence. Partner with IndianaSRN, where success and sponsorship meet. Contact us at coach@IndianaSRN.org. 42-29 the score. Illinois Wesleyan with the 13-point lead in this one, and they have definitely heated up from outside. They missed their first 8 three-point attempts, and they've hit 5 of their most recent 8 three-point attempts. 31% now from beyond the arc. Rebounding margin a little more even, but still a big advantage for Illinois Wesleyan on the offensive glass, 13-4 so far on the game. Looking at individual performers so far in this contest, Mike, what stuck out as far as Illinois Wesleyan's concerned is certainly the contributions of Kate Palmer, 10 points so far on the contest, including 2 three-pointers.
Yeah, I think that the more that they're able to stretch out opposing defenses, that's going to be very much to Illinois Wesleyan's advantage. This is not a big team. They rebound well because they are able to hustle after the ball, but they've got to stretch the defense out first. And that creates some of those gaps that they're able to shoot and get second chance opportunities.
So the inbound going to come here. Baum Again against pressure and turns it over once again. Bardick kicks it back out. Three-pointer on the way, no good, and Baum will get the rebound back. Bit of a reprieve there. But this kind of 1-2-2 pressure has really given Rose-Hulman fits. And now dribbling into the corner, and another turnover as Palmer has a 2-on-1 the other direction. Looks for Huber, bounce pass, shot up and good.
I honestly, as much as it's the ball handlers, it's also teammates have to come back and recognize what is happening and help their teammates out a little.
Yeah, Sophia Reese kind of having to go against things all by herself. Here's another turnover by Baum. Ill-advised pass and another break. Nice layup by Palmer. Kate Palmer with a little mini Euro step there, and it's 46-29, and the Titans in danger of cracking this one wide open. Layup, no good there, but Ashley Black able to draw the foul.
Better job of breaking the press. What you see when you've got a good press defense, you see teams start to doubt themselves, and that is the worst thing you can do, because the more you hesitate as you're trying to break a press, and we see a fast break, a great job with a little show, and then take the ball back, and then up and in for Kate Palmer.
Not a full Euro step there by Palmer, kind of an Icelandic half step. Not all the way to the continent, just close. Free throw up and good by Ashley Black. And Rose-Hulman, to their credit, has calmed down in the half court, but that full court pressure, Illinois Wesleyan really just not letting up at any point. Big tumble there in the lane as three players went down going after that rebound. Titans come out with it. And there's another stumble, and that one goes out of bounds. It'll be a turnover. .524 remaining here in this third quarter of play. Ill-advised pass into a trap and almost a travel, and that one's going to get knocked out of bounds. Slight reprieve there for Amelia Diaz, the freshman out of Fort Wayne.
Only for a minute, because this is the worst place to have to inbound the ball against this pressure defense.
And that one's nicely lobbed into Black. Black going to take advantage of the numbers and fouled. Foul going to be called on Katie Knutson.
And I would expect Illinois Wesleyan is going to keep this press up until you break it, until you prove that they should not.
You can see that lob there, and that was almost a clean block by Knutson, but a good job by Ashley Black to make the pressure play there, and she is rewarded for the trip to the foul line, hits her first, and knocks the second one down.
Black finally getting hot at the free throw line, which you like to see. She had struggled a little bit coming into today and then struggled early on.
Rose-Hulman going to throw a little pressure of their own, but easily broken here by Illinois Wesleyan. Drive, layup, up and good. Sarah Bali, the sophomore out of Bloomingdale, Illinois. Shamba, probably not who Rose-Hulman wanted to take that up the court, but she does a nice job regardless.
Yeah, I think Illinois Wesleyan backed off the pressure when they got to the middle of the court, which is, that's how you get there, but.
Pass thrown away. Titans, outlet. Here's Sawyer White, and can't get the shot to go, but that'll be a foul.
Probably a frustration foul there by Ashley Black. Was trailing the play, and I think a little frustrated she couldn't find the ball as it was coming over her head. Kind of took a swipe at the last second.
Timeout. We'll go ahead and take a break ourselves. 48-32, Illinois Wesleyan leads. Back after this.
Active athlete looking for enhanced performance, comfort, and recovery? Then Skins is the perfect choice for you. Our revolutionary sports compression product provides better oxygen flow in your muscles, helps reduce fatigue and pain from intense physical activity, allowing athletes to push their boundaries and perform better.
Skins helps keep everything, including you, on track.
So don't wait any longer. Get your Skins now and experience unbeatable performance.
Take your game to the next level with Skins.
It's a 16-point lead for Illinois Wesleyan here in the third quarter of play. First game of the Midwest Classic. I'm Galen Clavio along with Mike Petrie here on RHIT.TV. Rose-Hulman struggling from the field. So is Illinois Wesleyan. Illinois Wesleyan just had a lot more shots. They've made 11 more from the field than Rose-Hulman has. Rose-Hulman has really been taking advantage of the free throw line. 12 made free throws, 20 attempts total on the game. But so far it's really been Illinois Wesleyan's defense in the second half that's been the story.
Yeah, and I think if you're Rose-Hulman, you've got to feel a little frustrated because especially early in this third quarter, you felt like you were getting the better of the play, but you just were not making any progress on the score. And we get a replay of that foul at the end, just a
touch foul,
little swipe, yeah. But right in line with what the official saw, so you know that's going to get called every time.
So Sawyer White, who, as we mentioned, has been kind of a breakout star here for Illinois Wesleyan, knocks down the first free throw and can put Illinois Wesleyan up at the 50-point mark if she knocks this one down. And she does. Press back on, and Baum has to pass it off to CK. Here's Baum struggling, and that is going to be completed down to Shamba. Shamba, nice pass, and a layup up and good. Now that's how you break the press, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely. You break it, and then you've got to score breaking it.
Drive in, Huber, no obstacles there as she sachets through the lane and lays it off the glass.
Nice job just dancing through.
Amelia Diaz off to Black. Baum just inside the three-point line, knocks that one home. The advanced statistical purist in me always cringes when a player has like 1 foot inside the line on a shot like that, but a nice job by Baum to knock it home regardless.
And she is
you can see here the replay. Yeah, just inside the long two, all the difficulty of a three.
Right.
And very few of the benefits.
What's remarkable, though, is that she is 2 of 12 from the three-point line, and you can see how much more comfortable she is just that 1 foot in.
Bardick bothered and turns it over. And bad pass there by Diaz. Break coming now for Illinois Wesleyan, 3-on-2. Nice layup attempt, no good though. Bounces free, and there's Gallegos Rodriguez picking up the board.
She was looking for contact.
Another
on the
turnover. Sawyer White, jump stop, might have traveled, no call, doesn't matter. Off glass, 54-36. Some frenetic action here in this third quarter. And a foul going to be called 35 feet from the basket as Gallegos Rodriguez was hand-checked.
No, it's just a good stop.
Yeah,
I like that.
I apologize to Sawyer White and her family. That was not a travel. It looked like it. That's how good the move was.
Right. But what set that up, Gallegos Rodriguez got the rebound, did a great job of picking the ball up, but then she was looking for contact. And I'm thinking you're at the wrong basket. You can't look for contact down there.
Baum. That looked like it might have been blocked, but here's Diaz. Rolling fakes. Shot clock winding down. And that one goes off the foot. Well, it looked like it went off the foot of an Illinois Wesleyan player, but they say it was touched last there by Amelia Diaz.
Yeah, Amelia Diaz knew it right away. She reached down to grab it, and it was like a hot stove. She realized, oh, I should not have touched that ball.
Sawyer White. White going to pull up from 17 and can't get that one to fall. Nice job on the rebound there by Sophia Reese. And the pressure back immediately. You don't often see full court pressure off a miss, but Illinois Wesleyan really feeling it so far. Here's a nice job breaking that press, and Rowland looked like she was fouled. No call, but it's going to be out of bounds to Rose-Hulman.
Yeah, late whistle that on the jumping up from being out of bounds.
You can see some contact there on that replay, but no call. Diaz has her pocket picked, and now coming the other direction. New face in the game. Here's Taylor Tarver. Lays it up. Can't get it to go, but she's fouled by Sophia Reese.
Good hustle by Tarver. Almost got her an easy basket, but because of the action, she will head to the free throw line.
So you can see here, well, right after the turnover, and Tarver, nice job of moving down the floor, and a really good job there by Sophia Reese to deny her the obvious driving lane and force her to the free throw line. Misses the first free throw. And misses the second. Rowland gets the rebound. Not really able to have an immediate outlet there, and now a foul as Tarver falls on Sophia Reese. Big collusion right at midcourt. So Tarver picks up her first, and that's the 15th foul on Illinois Wesleyan.
Well,
so that'll send them to the bonus here for this quarter.
Again, that's what you want to see, and Sophia Reese gets punished for doing the right thing. She just drew the foul, but got hammered for it.
So free throw attempts coming for Sophia Reese. Knocks the first one down. 54-37. Rose-Hulman trying to keep this one within some degree of striking distance, but Titans really giving them a lot of trouble, especially as they try to bring the ball down the floor. Knocks the second free throw down. And we'll see Rowland and Shamba both sit down.
Much smaller lineup for Rose-Hulman. They are going to go ahead and go to a press.
Yeah, almost
that makes sense.
Kind of a five-guardish sort of lineup in here. Maybe one forward if you want to count Gallegos Rodriguez, but a foul going to be called here in the backcourt. A little too enthusiastic on the pressure there, Sophia Reese.
Yeah, even though they showed press, they kind of backed off of it. I'm a little surprised, to be honest.
Well, sometimes you'll show that pressure to just kind of put something in the mind of your opposition. There's Palmer. Now inside, Knutson can't find any room, but Huber does. Shot is short. And another offensive rebound for the Titans. Cross court. Palmer, no hesitation. Scoop shot up and good.
She likes that scoop shot. She's been able to make that work a couple of times so far this quarter.
Rose-Hulman breaks the pressure here. Reese, nice feed into Gallegos. Rodriguez lays it up and in.
And that's how you break a press, and you make sure that you get 2 points at the end of it.
And another turnover. Black gonna get a jump ball forced here, but that'll stay with, they're gonna say that's going to the Titans.
You see the frustration on Ashley Black's face. She had her hands on the ball, just could not grasp it cleanly, and because of that, it gave an extra few seconds.
So White will trigger this one from underneath the basket. Quick shot by Huber, no, but a foul going to be called on Gallegos Rodriguez, who didn't completely agree with that call, but it'll be 2 free throws.
I don't know what would give you that impression.
just a hunch on my part. 58.8 seconds left in this third quarter of play. No good on that as Huber's free throw rims out. The Lombard, Illinois native, went to Glenbard East High School. And able to rattle that one home.
I was going to say, she does not give up a lot of the free ones. She usually makes that count. She's the one player on this team that really is an excellent free throw shooter.
Laura Malum in the game now for Illinois Wesleyan. Rose-Hulman breaks the press and bomb, but behind her back, a little dangerous there. Shot fake, Black up, no good. Gets her own rebound, puts it up, can't get that one to fall, and Malum going to pick up this rebound. And a foul going to be called on Rose-Hulman. Well, incredibly frustrating for Rose-Hulman. So many shots right under the basket just haven't gone, and they end up picking up the frustration foul there as they try to go for that rebound.
And like I said, I think that what that does is it ends up making it, you end up pressing both, trying to make a perfect pass to get opponents that are, in positions where they can make an easy basket, but also then you end up just pressing a little bit when you're shooting, trying a little too hard.
Laura Malin, who hasn't seen a huge amount of time so far today, misses that free throw. And she'll have another attempt here. Up and hard off the back of the rim. No, but knocked away and picked up by the Titans. They'll kick it around. 3 on the way. That's way off the mark. And Rose-Hulman rebound and a foul going to be called on Katie Knutson. There should be more free throws here for Rose-Hulman as we have both teams in the bonus now in this third quarter of play.
And I think that if there's any concern on the Illinois Wesleyan side of things, they've got the game pretty comfortably in hand. You don't want to let that get away from you. And the way you let a team back into a game is by putting them unnecessarily at the free throw line.
CK Gallegos Rodriguez misses the first, hits the second, back to a 16-point margin, and a substitution coming in here as they try to start play a little too rapidly. Coming into the contest is Tori Scales, 5'10 sophomore out of Riverton, Illinois. Pressure here from Rose-Hulman, and they force a turnover. That's a nice job of a little turning the tables there by Rose-Hulman, as for once Illinois Wesleyan struggling to get the ball in.
And Amelia Diaz learned from her previous mistake, and you like to see them learn because she forced the bad pass. It went off an Illinois Wesleyan player, and she let it sit and kind of jump back to make sure she didn't touch it.
Ball bounces around. Gallegos Rodriguez spin. Can't get the shot off glass. And now Illinois Wesleyan coming the other direction. They'll back it out here and play for the last shot of the quarter.
Just a little too much heat on that ball coming off the backboard.
White
had the right idea.
Has the ball stolen. Diaz has it go out of bounds, and it'll be off of Knutson. So 9/10 of a second remaining. One last shot attempt potentially here for Rose-Hulman.
They've been subbing Roland back in and out. I wouldn't be surprised to see if they can find her on a lob.
Triggered, Roland up and off the mark, and that'll end the third quarter of play. Illinois Wesleyan 57, Rose-Hulman 41. We'll be back right after this on RHIT.TV.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Welcome back to Terre Haute, Indiana. Hulbert Arena is our location. The Midwest Classic is the occasion. Illinois Wesleyan leading 57-41 as we enter the fourth quarter of play. And Mike, another quarter really where both teams struggled in various areas of the game. The shooting a bit better. The turnovers still a huge presence, particularly for Rose-Hulman as we go down the stretch here.
Yeah, that's what's keeping them from being able to make any progress. I think defensively they've got to be pretty pleased with their effort overall, especially on the initial possessions. Still a little bit of cleanup to do. And Illinois Wesleyan, it's not all a negative on Rose-Hulman's side. This is Illinois Wesleyan's game plan, and they've been able to execute that pretty effectively.
Ashley Black leading the Fightin' Engineers with 11 points. CK Gallegos Rodriguez with 9. Jamie Baum with 8. Kate Palmer leading the Titans with 14 so far, and she leads all scorers. Lauren Huber right behind her with 13 points in this contest. Nice job by Sophia Reese. Does a wonderful job curling around the top of the key there. Now the other direction. Quick shot, up attempt, and good by Mallory Powers, who's been pretty quiet throughout the course of this contest. Sophia Reese double-teamed, almost loses it. And a timeout going to be called by Rose-Hulman. Not sure that timeout could have been awarded. I don't think anybody had possession when the whistle blew, but we'll keep it here as a 30-second timeout going to be called.
And I was just laughing, CK Gallegos Rodriguez explaining to the referee that she kept getting hit in the face. That's, just making sure that you're seeing that.
I would be similarly aggrieved if I was being hit in the face. Let's look at some statistics as we look at both teams. The shooting has gotten better for both of these squads. We were talking about it in that first quarter of play. I think both teams just adapting to playing maybe 2 days after Thanksgiving. 40% for both teams right now from the field. Illinois Wesleyan 5 for 18 now from 3, which is significantly below what they would normally be able to do from distance. Rose-Hulman has not hit a 3 so far in this contest. Fighting Engineers 15 for 24 from the free throw line. Only 10 trips for Illinois Wesleyan. They've only hit 4 of those. Rebounding has evened out over time. Still a big offensive rebounding margin in favor of Illinois Wesleyan, but it's not dominating play like it did early on in the contest.
No, and from an individual standpoint, Kate Palmer, you had mentioned not only leading scorer, but she's also the leading assister for Illinois Wesleyan. 6 assists on the game, having a tremendous impact offensively, and 5 rebounds as well.
Baum will trigger this into Sophia Reese, freshman out of Jeffersonville. Reese picks up her dribble. Rolling into the lane, throws it up, no. Rebound by the Titans. Bardick going to pull up and knocks that one home. Ava Bardick with a sweet stroke when she gets some time to set up.
And I think what you see with this Rose-Hulman team, again, it's just they're thinking too much offensively. We saw on that last possession, Reese dribbled back, got away from defenders, picked up her dribble, and then had to decide what to do. And it's just causing a moment of hesitation. That's what's leading to all these turnovers, is that you're giving the defense a leg up.
Engineers down 18, trying to chip away at this lead. Inside to Gallegos Rodriguez, no, but a foul going to be called.
And you see how much smoother that offensive set was. She knew as she was picking the ball up that it was going to be lobbed in immediately. And with that, it led to a shot opportunity and a foul called on Illinois Wesleyan.
So Gallegos Rodriguez back to the line. This will be the first of 2 games this weekend for both of these teams. Second free throw missed. White cross court. Here's Palmer for 3. Drains it. Now the turnover here as a cross court pass goes awry from Baum. White going to kick this off to Huber. Huber can't get the shot to fall, but Knudsen picks it up, and she'll convert and go to the free throw line, and it's a 22-point lead now.
A lot of easy baskets just caused by hustling in transition. Even if it's not technically a fast break point, you're creating essentially transition-like conditions by forcing the defense to scramble.
Knutson misses that free throw, but Huber able to pick it up, and now three-pointer on the way, and that's good, and it's raining now for Illinois Wesleyan. Mallory Powers knocks that one home.
Well, we had been wondering, especially through the first about quarter and a half, where all the three-pointers were, but they've come back with a full force here.
Sophia Reese kicks it out. Baum pulls up, arcing shot, not going, but Black able to pick that one up on the baseline. Inside to Shamba, up, a little strong. Gallegos Rodriguez up and good.
I've liked her effort so far today. Getting a lot of work done underneath the basket.
Knutson draws contact from Baum, and she'll go to the free throw line. Yeah, CK Gallegos Rodriguez with that last jumper, 12 points on the game, and has really been probably the most consistent performer so far for this team. You can see here Knutson just doing a good job of drawing contact and getting that shot up in the air.
That's been a fun battle to watch. As really it's been her and Gallegos Rodriguez going up against each other quite a bit.
So Knutson will toe the line. Knocks that one home. 70 points now for Illinois Wesleyan. They're starting to back off that pressure as they've built a pretty substantial lead now. No need to expend extra energy, especially if you have to play a game tomorrow. Reese, nice feed to Black, and she gets that to bounce home.
As much as anything, I'm just happy to see some of these shots that Ashley Black's used to making. Some of those are starting to fall again, which is good news for Rose-Hulman.
Huber maneuvers inside and picks up the foul from Gallegos Rodriguez.
Rose-Hulman fouls on number 12, Gallegos Rodriguez. Her fourth, team's third.
Third team foul already for Rose-Hulman as they've been really caught in some disadvantageous positions so far in this half. Sarah Bali comes back in. You can see here replay and a nice job by Illinois Wesleyan to just press the action constantly. They've really put Rose-Hulman on their heels defensively.
Very difficult to defend the full court for the entire 40 minutes, and that's really what Illinois Wesleyan forces you to do, both the width and the length of the court.
Laura Malem going to come back into the contest, and Huber's going to sit back down again. Not nearly as aggressive a pressure at this point.
They still show it, though. you still get to inbound against it and see what you're expecting.
Foul going to be whistled as Baum was trying to come across a screen attempt, and the foul going to be whistled, I think, on Sarah Bali.
And that was a pass that Sophia Reese, I don't know if I've seen that in a live game. She was able to catch the ball before it actually left her hand.
Nice pull-up J there from Baum. Pass almost thrown away, but Bali saves it. Knutson working, now kicking the corner to White. White can't get the three to fall. And the rebound by Rose-Hulman. Down the floor, here's Ashley Black, lays it up, and a foul. Foul going to be committed there by Mallory Powers, and Rose-Hulman hasn't given up quite yet as they continue to push the action.
No, end line to end line, they are still staying with it. And
see, nice outlet pass here from Baum, and Black able to lay that up softly off the glass. So Ashley Black out of Westfield, Indiana, knocks that free throw home. 72-53 now, 19-point lead for the Titans. And that's going to be out of bounds for Rose-Hulman, as it was saved from going out of bounds by Laura Malem, but her foot was on the line when she leapt up to get that ball.
Yeah, great job by Jamie Baum. Just batted the pass back to her. Would have gone out of bounds, would have been off of Rose-Hulman, but kind of an unlucky bounce there for Illinois Wesleyan.
Rose-Hulman being a little more deliberate on offense here as they look for a good shot. There's Baum for three. Still haven't gotten one to fall all game. And the Titans come back down with it. White cross court. Volley just kind of fell. And a timeout going to be called here by Illinois Wesleyan as Mia Smith not happy with some sloppy play there from her team, it looked like.
No, I'm not sure if she was upset she was looking for a foul or if she was upset with her team. But, yeah, just a tumble and probably fortunate not to get called for a travel there. For Rose-Hulman, and we're seeing, and this is something that, is becoming a bigger and bigger issue, that it's not impossible to be a good offense if you don't hit three-pointers. It just makes life a lot harder. You have to do a lot of other things perfectly, and Rose-Hulman just makes it much more difficult on themselves because they're struggling from the arc.
And it's important to remember, as we talked about earlier on, this is a team that's still finding itself, still finding the best ways to play. We talked about how turnovers have been a big problem for them this year so far, and that is almost hand in hand with trying to reestablish an identity as a team, trying to figure out where you're supposed to be, where to throw the ball. Nice inbounds play there as they find Knudsen underneath for 2 points. But I think this Rose-Hulman team has shown quite a bit of promise. I think they're going to be able to figure these things out, and they can give some teams some trouble throughout the course of this season.
Yeah, the characteristics are what you like to see in terms of tenaciousness, in terms of good defense.
A nice layup there by Gallegos Rodriguez.
And it's just a matter of, so many times it's just you've got to make some shots. And once you see the ball go in a couple of times, everything else seems to flow a little bit easier.
Dumped in, and a foul going to be whistled here. That's on Ashley Black as she got Mallory Powers on the arm. Kate Palmer leading all scorers. She's got 17 points for the Titans. Lauren Huber with 15. And off the bench, Sawyer White with 13 points. For Rose-Hulman, it's been Ashley Black leading the way with 16 points, and then C.K. Gallegos Rodriguez with 12, and Jamie Baum currently with 10. Ball triggered in. Nice pass in, but a shot missed there, and a make. That one coming from Martha Lippick, a stoppage of play, as it looked like on that play Grace Rowland got popped in the nose. I don't think she's bleeding, but that never feels good, Mike, when you get hit in the nose like that.
No, she came down and immediately started feeling as if she was expecting a bloody nose, but nothing so far. But good news there. Looks like she is all right. No, none the worse for wear.
Baum going to work this one up. And a offensive foul going to be called there, kind of a high screen that was moving a bit, maybe a little bit harsh on that call.
Yeah, that's not really the call you expect to get when you're trying to get into an offense. I think makes things difficult.
Tarver back in the game for Illinois Wesleyan. She'll drive the lane, kicks it out. Now Sawyer White from three, that's off the mark. Diaz the other way here for Rose-Hulman. And a foul going to be called. That one whistled on Sawyer White. Little hand check action there. 3:55 remaining in this contest. So Illinois Wesleyan on their way to heading back to the Midwest Classic Championship game. That'll be a roughly 4 o'clock tip tomorrow as they'll face the winner of our second game today, DePaul and Washington University. Baum knocks down the free throws. 76-57 the score. White stopping right at the timeline. That is not always the smartest thing to do there. Knutson off to Tarver. Shot rims out. And Knutson's really been hard to handle on the boards.
Yeah, not much of a scoring threat, but does a great job setting up teammates.
Illinois Wesleyan working some shot clock here. Almost a travel. That's an air ball. Nice rebound by Shamba. And Baum going to bring it down now for Rose-Hulman. And a foul going to be called there on the body check by Taylor Tarver.
And officials getting a little tighter here than you would expect, but I think that was the right call. And you just see how this Rose-Hulman team, the identity, as you mentioned, I think is having to figure out how to interact with each other. I think Jamie Baum has done a good job here in this fourth quarter, showing her teammates what kind of she needs from them, but it's a matter of then, not getting too much in her way. She's going one way, and I think a lot of times teammates essentially, they are just ending up in the same spot offensively, which it's a matter of you've just got to figure out where the other one is going.
Baseline drive by Knutson. Now cycled around, three-pointer up, no good. That's batted around, and Gallegos Rodriguez able to pick that one up. Had a substitution in that last exchange. Megan Moody, the fifth-year senior, into the game now for Illinois Wesleyan. Baseline dribble. And a foul going to be called on Knutson. That is Knutson's fourth. And as you mentioned, some tighter calls here down the stretch, and we're probably going to see a parade to the free throw line. Rose-Hulman's made up some ground from the free throw line, only down 17 now. They've scored their last 6 from the line. And Shamba able to knock that one down. Coming off the bench in this game, Shamba's had a pretty good game so far, 4 points and 5 rebounds so far. And much needed, as she's had to spell Roland going out a couple of different times.
Yeah, I think that does not quite
turnover
all of her activity.
And here's a nice feed. There's Diaz, lays it up, and it's suddenly a 13-point game. Rose-Hulman trying to sport a bit of a comeback here. And Illinois Wesleyan suddenly not that sure with the basketball. Now White.
You like the fight that Rose-Hulman is showing here. You don't want to have to wait until you've dug as deep of a hole as they did, but they certainly have done what they could to get out of it.
And a foul going to be called here with 1 second left on the shot clock. So that foul on Gallegos Rodriguez. And that's going to send Katie Knutson to the free throw line. Roland going to come back into the contest. And that was Gallegos Rodriguez's 5th foul, so that'll be the end of the day for her. A really good game for Gallegos Rodriguez. 14 points, 10 rebounds, 3 of those on the offensive glass. Free throw up and good there for Knutson.
By the end of the season, I think that Gallegos Rodriguez is essentially not going to call it a good day unless she's gotten at least 3 fouls called on her, because she's certainly has earned the 5 that she got tonight and has been very active and very physical in a good way for this Rose-Hulman team.
Shamba's layup goes awry. Knutson on the block. Titans in no hurry to score here, up by 14. They'll just work clock or throw the ball out of bounds. Not a great pass there from Megan Moody at the top of the key.
No, that's what you see when you get some of the players getting essentially their first playing time or first playing time in this game. A little bit overly anxious, and again, a little bit ambitious on that pass.
Diaz. And a turnover there as Illinois Wesleyan play in that 2-3 zone. Under a minute remaining here. Be sure to stick with us, folks, as we will have the second game of the Midwest Classic coming up a bit later on. Long shot by Moody, bounces off, no good. And that'll recycle the shot clock. Dumped in, turnaround shot, no. And the bouncing rebound picked up by Sophia Reese. She'll drive in 1-on-2, lays it up and in.
Split the difference, did a great job. Neither player picked her up and stopped the dribble, so she just kept going as long as she could.
Whistle there from the officials, and I'm not entirely sure why, but we'll get back underway. Illinois Wesleyan breaking the pressure. Shot up and good there by Peyton Jacob, 5'10 sophomore out of St. Joseph, Illinois. 5 seconds left. Reese loses it, bounces out of bounds. Right into the Rose-Hulman bench.
I think as a coach, you've got to feel really good about what you're teaching your team when that extended second team runs an offense as smoothly as Illinois Wesleyan just did.
Knocked away, and that's the ball game. Illinois Wesleyan wins this one 79-65. Rose-Hulman falls to 1-3 on the campaign. Illinois Wesleyan to 4-2. And as we mentioned, we'll see both of these teams again in action tomorrow. Rose-Hulman will play in the 2 o'clock slot, and we'll see Illinois Wesleyan playing in the championship game in the 4 o'clock slot. Some quick statistics here as we wrap this one up. Rose-Hulman shooting got pretty good down the stretch. They finished 44.7% from the field on 21 of 47 shooting. 0 for 5, however, from three-point range. Illinois Wesleyan, 41% from the field, 7 for 24 from 3. But the key here in this game, the amount of turnovers that we saw, 29 turnovers for Rose-Hulman, 20 for Illinois Wesleyan. Not a game that will go into the Smithsonian from a beauty perspective. Leading scorers for both teams, it was Kate Palmer with 17 points for Illinois Wesleyan. Lauren Huber scored 15 for Illinois Wesleyan. And for Rose-Hulman, it was Ashley Black with 16 points. C.K. Gallegos Rodriguez and Jamie Baum contribute 14 apiece. Mike, as we wrap this up, any final thoughts?
Well, I think from a offensive perspective, you got what you expected from Illinois Wesleyan eventually, especially in second, third quarter. They were able to run what they like to do offensively, and that was just enough. From Rose-Hulman, again, building this team, this will be one that they can learn from, and they've just got to be able to convert defense into offense a little bit more effectively.
So both of these teams, as we mentioned, back in action tomorrow, and we'll be back in action in about 45 minutes as DePaul will take on Washington University in the second game of the Midwest Classic. Stick with us, folks. We're going to stop this broadcast, and we'd like to thank our entire crew and all the folks here at Rose-Hulman for their hospitality. We'll be back shortly with the second game of the Midwest Classic. It's the Tigers versus the Bears. Oh my. Here from Rose-Hulman. For Mike Petrie, I'm Galen Clavio. Again, the final score, Illinois Wesleyan 79, Rose-Hulman 65. We'll catch you folks on the flip side. So long, everybody.